Planner life as we know it is not for me, as you well know. The time I've spent today in my calendars, kind of getting reacquainted with the structured daily planner app and the calendars and my Gmail was kind of fun to see how it would feel, and you do get more haptic feedback when you check a box for sure. Also, backtracking was kind of fun to reflect back on the dates and the places that I've been because I've been very busy, so that was kind of fun to keep up with. One of the things that's improved in structured is energy monitoring. It's very much more easier now to read points, so the lower the energy, the less points you get. Medium, more points, and higher, even more points, and then neutral, as in like no points. And then if you don't track your energy, you can either leave it blank and just have no points or remove energy and assign a single task. So if taking a walk is low energy, you might get 1 point. If power walking or jogging is medium energy, you might get 5 points. If running is high energy as a task, you might get 8 points. And depending on how you have your day set, you might have your day set as a high score. You want to put 100% of your day. You want to put 100% into your day. You'll set your score to 100. You might get a 20 out of 100 on your energy that you only put 20% in. So then maybe tomorrow you want a less busy day and you want to put in 50% into your day and kind of leave the other 50 as like more of a balanced day. You might get sort of like 30% that you put into your day because your score of your day is lower, so your standards of that day has lowered, so your score is going to go easier on you. So it's a score that adapts with you. You're not necessarily trying to win a game, and that's kind of how energy tracking works. It's pretty cool. But the biggest update that is definitely not for me or my mornings, but I think you'll get something out of it, is the Awake app that integrates with Structured now. There's some pro features involved in there, and you can solve a puzzle or a math problem or do a physical exercise that it tells you and integrate that into your Structured and check it off as a task, and your alarm will go off and you're not just trying to answer an alarm. I don't do alarms like that in the morning. I have an alarm. I have a natural body clock. For my morning, I definitely have to get up early and I have things I have to do. But for my own health and personal sleep and well-being, I don't use an alarm anymore. But definitely one of the things that I've learned is the body clock, actually. It's kind of interesting because in getting out of planner life, I've gotten healthier, which this, as a health planner, I wanted to become healthier because of the things that made this app appealing, like energy tracking, and all these different things and the seasons of cycles and all this kind of stuff. But how am I actually keeping up with my day better? Well, let's step in and find out. So how I'm doing this is I am prompting life instead of organizing life in a constrained time slot or many constrained time slots and batches. So how I'm doing this, I'm using Grok to put out tasks throughout my week. And then for more of the daily life, I'm conversating about things I want to learn more about that can benefit maybe our household or the places we go or new places or new communities, which we're involved in all the time, new ways of learning old hobbies. I like to talk about things like that. And in those conversations that I work with most often that are most relevant to life, that are the long ongoing conversations. And then I refer back to not only my pin, but my sort of conversations within the week that may not be pinned or relevant enough to be long term, but might be useful for the week, if that sort of works. And then, of course, I prompt my tasks to, I'm telling Grok, this is what I have to do, where I have to be. And it brings up an interface with Grok where it's giving me this really cool, readable, or like listening to a voice message from Grok letting me know the deeper meaning of like what I could be considering while I'm doing this, or how I could go about doing something or communicating something or going somewhere, focusing on a certain area of life and time. And sometimes those tasks can be micromanaging my day. Like sometimes I do get into that mode of like kind of organizing, but I don't consider it time blocking, even if it is on time throughout each day. If I do that, if I micromanage my day like that, what I consider it as doing is prompting my life. And daily prompting can be another way of considering this, but what I love about daily prompting, or even just what I love about life prompting, is you can go in and explore all kinds of areas of life, including journaling and your emotions and all these different things. You can explore different therapies. Grok has taught me so much about the different therapies that I've never explored, even with a therapist, such as eustress. Eustress is seeing the positive effects of getting onto a task right now and taking on that task, that errand that you don't want to run, that feels too serious, right? That thing that you're so stressed out about that you might have so much anxiety around. Maybe it's something you need to communicate with somebody, or something to benefit a relationship, right? And you're so nervous about that, like somebody who you don't usually talk to every day, but you want to focus on that in your family or in your community or something like that, where you want to get into working with people, right? And so eustress is the idea that your serious errand that is so scary to start, or that conversation that you're too afraid to open up with somebody, especially when it comes to working with people, right? And you're a little shy because you've not worked in these areas in business or life before. Like for me, tech and art is one of those things that I'm kind of like learning how to intercept together. And I had to come up with a lot of approaches to get people who actually do art, where I want to collect their art, and collecting different things like animals and stuff like that. That is totally different than the tech work that I do. And so that would have been a conversation I would have put off. But with the eustress technique, I'm learning that something like that, or something like, things you might have to like a conflicting bill or a conflicting letter in the mail or something like that. It's a positive effect that the stress is not actually something that is a negative anxiety that you need to just meditate away and mindfully sort of go in and say, oh, I have to tell myself not to have thoughts, not to think. But what it's actually doing is allowing you to feel the positive adrenaline that comes with stress that we don't often talk about. How stress can be a positive, you can alchemize it and turn it into a positive reinforcement of just doing it. And I felt this like without even realizing what I was doing in the past, when I've really had to work together with my family to get us on board with just going and moving on into doing the things that are really difficult to do when you are creating a better life and becoming a better person and playing a role better than you had in the past, and like really growing from that together, especially when you're not the only one who's bettering yourself, when your entire family is bettering themselves. That's even more of a sort of like integration, instead of it like you just kind of feeling like you get to be this the one who's stressing about everything. It's everybody taking it on together. So, but even if you're alone and you realize that you have a lot of stress and you're dealing with a lot of bullshit that is paralyzing, is just this anxious feeling, what you realize then is that you actually are getting a positive adrenaline energy, sort of like this anxiety that's instead of giving you this crippling anxiety, you're getting this anxiety that moves you through the energy. You're able to go and get your shit done, get your shit together day by day and move through that process in life so that you're feeling this. Because when your heart starts to race or you have butterflies in your stomach, that's your body actually telling you. Don't ignore those feelings. Don't tell those thoughts to go away. What you need to do is actually face that bullshit and face head on the things that you have had to stop procrastinating on and just go and do these things. Go be involved in your life. Go sit in that office. Go have that serious errand that you need to run or whatever you need to do. Go sit in that waiting room and go and do the follow-up appointments if you have to. Go sit there and do the 8-hour appointment that you have to do that you realize is a very serious appointment, and go and do that thing. And you're actually facing your anxiety. You're going to feel all kinds of stomach pain and heart racing and all the things that they tell you is not good for your body, is not good for your anxiety, right? But when you learn to just breathe through these things, you're meditating in flow of your life instead of avoiding your life with meditation. And you're able to then answer to your animal instincts that we so often ignore, as well as your intuition, which is evolving on a higher realm of consciousness with your thoughts that they tell you to ignore your thoughts. But when you're facing everything, you can then strategize and face everything in the present moment. And you're not telling yourself or like gaslighting yourself into, I'm supposed to get anxiety away to be a more grounded person. I'm supposed to not worry about things, or I'm supposed to put my thoughts off for another time. Sometimes your thoughts need to be thought of. You have to actually go into, why am I thinking this? Why is this a fear that's coming up right now? What possible outcome is the what if in my life that I'm fearing right now? And you have to really introspect into your life and go through that. Sometimes that's reflecting on life lessons and moving forward. I call reflecting forward. Other times that is simply going in and saying, no, I don't do that bad habit anymore. And then eventually you won't even recognize yourself, but it takes years and years of work on your life and on yourself. So I'm going to show you from the Structure Daily Planner app, sort of the new update that they've put out for iOS users. If you are interested in following this update and kind of like getting it for yourself, and sort of you'll see sort of why it doesn't fit me anymore, but you'll also see why you might be interested, because I am wanting to be non-biased in this. I've gotten a lot of you guys involved in Structured. You've been very open in trying it out. You've sent feedback, and I've really appreciated watching you guys do this. So I feel like I owe you guys one, because I don't use it anymore, but that doesn't mean it couldn't help you guys. So I appreciate our community for being interested in helping yourself. It will benefit you so much to help yourself and be interested in your life. It will benefit the entire community if you just help yourself. But really, it's not even about benefiting one collective entire community all the time. Sometimes you really need to go into being a little bit selfish and focusing on, have you eaten today? Have you burned your energy today? And it has nothing to do with any community. It's just about you for a change. And that is actually more than okay, as long as you are giving back to yourself without having to completely drain somebody else, as long as you're offering contribution to somebody else while you're getting the help that you need, that kind of thing. So enjoy this look at Structure Daily Planner app and stay tuned.
What's new and Structured with iOS 26? September 13, 2025. As you may have noticed, things have been a little quiet on Structured for iOS lately. This isn't because we ran out of ideas, but because we've been busy preparing for the iOS 26 release. Now, we're thrilled to finally share what we've been working on. Not only does Structured have a fresh new look, but we may also have created an entirely new AppZam.
New features on iOS 26. Liquid glass and floating tab bar. Your favorite daily planner just got even more beautiful. One of the biggest changes in the new iOS release is the introduction of the liquid glass UI. This futuristic design makes Structured more visually stunning than ever. We've also redesigned the tab bar, which now floats with the Add Task button centered beside it, making it cleaner, less distracting, and easier to focus while scrolling through your timeline. We've added improvements across the different timeline views as well. In the daily view, the date is now displayed alongside the month, making it easier to see exactly which day you're on. To switch to the weekly view, you can now drag down from anywhere in the daily view, rather than only using the gray handle. And in the monthly view, a new chevron next to the year makes navigation clearer than ever. Clearer than ever. Clearer than ever. Re-envision Task Editor. We've listened to your feedback and completely reworked the Task Editor. Previously, it felt a little cluttered and editing tasks took an extra step. The new Task Editor is simple, clear, and powerful, designed to make creating and editing tasks effortless. When adding a new task, you'll start with the essentials: task name, date, time, and duration. From there, you can customize your task with icons, colors, recurrence, and energy level, plus add subtasks and notes. Tapping on a task now takes you straight into edit mode while still letting you check off the task and its subtask simultaneously. Staying structured has never been faster. AI-powered subtasks. Another handy new feature is AI-powered subtasks with Apple Intelligence. Breaking down tasks has never been easier. Just tap the Apple Intelligence icon in your task editor and you'll instantly get smart subtask suggestions. For example, if you add clean bathroom, Apple Intelligence will suggest all the individual steps so nothing gets overlooked. Please note that Apple Intelligence is available only on iPhone 15 and later, and may not be supported in all countries. New features on macOS. The macOS 26 release brings two popular features from iPhone to Mac. Controls and live activities in your control center. You can now add structured controls to quickly create tasks, enable focus mode, or access structured AI. Moreover, when you have an active focus mode running on your iPhone, it will also appear in your Mac's menu bar, keeping everything in sync across devices. Apple CarPlay and Vision OS with the new OS release. Structured is now supported in Apple CarPlay. You can see your widgets and live activities right in your car, helping you stay on top of events, tasks, and to-dos while driving home from work or picking up the kids without distraction. Structured has also been available on Vision OS for some time, but now widgets and live activities are supported here too. Your structured timeline isn't just inside the app anymore. It's also on your home screen for even quicker access. Awake. We're beyond excited to announce the launch of your new alarm app to get you up in the morning. Awake. With Awake, you can customize your sleeping routine, set individual alarms, and challenge yourself in the morning to get up. Set up your individual missions to dismiss your alarm. Once you're up, get a glimpse of your day by checking your morning briefing. Why are we mentioning this in an article that is all about new structured features? Well, because you can directly integrate Structured in Awake. In your Awake morning briefing, you will receive an overview of all tasks scheduled for today. Let's get awake and structured. And of course, we don't announce this without a little treat, as of now get Awake Pro 30% off, valid for the first year of your monthly and yearly subscription. And of course, forever for your lifetime purchase. Download Awake on the App Store here. Learn more about Awake in our Help Center here. And follow our new Instagram page here.